Hey friends, Alison Hillman here. I am the Alison in BTP by Alison, and this is a presentation of Lady Boss Branding with the 3-2-1 Blast, bringing you the best St. Louis has to offer in the way of small business. And today is no exception. I have the incredible Kirk Faubel with Country Financial here. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How are you, my friend?
I'm hanging in there, doing as well as we can, and enjoying some of the really nice weather we've had.
I love watching you on Facebook with that little one. Abby is absolutely adorable. I know you and Becky are having a time with her at home and
Yes,
doing it's fun, but I can only imagine how challenging it is.
absolutely. Definitely is keeping us busy and kind of joked yesterday, it's like tag team wrestling. So when you get a little bit overwhelmed, you got to go tag your partner in.
Absolutely. Jason's doing that right now. He's got Jace upstairs for me. So from getting to know you, I know that you're a teacher. So tell me how that ties into, well, what the heck is Country Financial? Why, personally, before you had never heard of it.
Mhm.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
So that seems fairly common, especially in our area. But you go 20 miles across the river, and it's a totally different world over there. Everybody knows who Country Financial is and country companies. So we're an insurance and financial services company that's been in business since 1925. So very, very long time. It's a company that started off as a group of farmers helping each other protect their barns and crops, and it's kind of grown from there. So 95 years in business, so very, very long time. Just a little bit smaller in the Missouri side, just because we don't
Sure,
do some of the big stuff like farms and things that we do on the other side of the river.
that makes sense. So how does Kirk Faubel play into that?
When I was trying to shop for a carrier that was a good fit for me, I wanted to be with someone who really valued customer service. I've got a pretty extensive background in taking care of customers and building loyal customers, and Country Financial really fit that bill. So we take a very consultative approach, which means that when I meet with clients, I'm asking a lot of questions, really trying to understand how they live their life. Who do they have at their house? Who's in their vehicle? How do they drive? Who's driving? What types of activities do you do? Because all of those things really help me understand their needs and allow me to make the right recommendations for them instead of a one size fits all, which is what you get if you call an 800 number or go online to get a quote. I want to make sure my folks are properly covered, and on the worst day of their life, they have the right check in their hand.
Sure. You always use the example of when you were a kid, you would jump off the roofs of your friends' houses and yours, and you want to make sure that if someone has a kid like you, they're covered.
Absolutely.
All right. So now that we know a little bit about you, the business insurance guy, we're going to go through the lightning round of their random questions. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Um, so, all right. So let me get the timer. We're going to do it for 3 minutes.
All right.
All right. For those of you at home, remember, I always say you should keep business personal. The point of these questions is so that you get to know Kirk as a person, not just as a headshot on a business card. So, all right, let's get this going.
I'm
So,
excited and nervous at the same time.
you never know with me. All right. So, what motivates you to work hard?
First and foremost, of course, my family, but I've really built my business by giving back to our local community. So I'm very charitable, not only with money, but also time. So I really value relationships with young children and really enjoy helping kids. I've been a youth lacrosse coach, youth basketball coach, youth t-ball coach, bowling coach. And right now, I'd really like to help eradicate literacy in the greater St. Louis area. So, making a living allows me to spend some of my time doing those things. So I really enjoy that.
You use your living to make a life and make other people's lives better. I love that.
Absolutely.
All right. So, St. Louis, favorite St. Louis zoo animal?
I would have to say the bears. They kind of fascinate me with their size and their agility, and
Huck and
I love
Finn.
the new polar bear display, and the grizzly bears are awesome.
Huck and Finn, Huck and
Yeah.
Finn. All right. Favorite St. Louis attraction?
Boy, there's a lot to go by there, but in general, it has to be Forest Park because there's so many things to do there. The zoo, as we talked about, the science center, just walking around the history museum, the art museum, and one of my new favorite activities with our 3-year-old is to roll down Art Hill. So that's a blast.
And speaking of Art Hill, that art museum, and it's free. If you went to Chicago or somewhere like that, it'd be 20-30 bucks just to get in there. We're so lucky to have that.
Absolutely.
St. Louis or Chicago style pizza?
Definitely Chicago style pizza. I'm not quite sure what they put on St. Louis style pizza. I'm from Wisconsin, so I'm a cheese snob. So the whole Provel thing kind of weirds me out a little bit.
I love Provel on a sandwich or a salad. I don't understand it on pizza. All right. What is the most daring thing you've ever done?
Boy, oh boy. What can I say that won't legally incriminate me in something? Most daring thing that I've ever done. And I was younger, and probably just because it ended badly when I was about 11 or 12, my aunt allowed me to drive a motorcycle that they had. And when I first put it into gear, it was a smaller motorcycle that some of the neighbor kids would ride on, but for a 12-year-old, it still had quite a bit of power. Started it up. They tried to teach me how to do it, and I promptly ran into a tree as soon as I got started. So, and amazingly, I've never broken a bone in my body to this day.
Oh, with some of the stories I've heard, that surprises me.
Yep.
All right. Love or hate roller coasters?
Love roller coasters.
If you had a warning label, what would it say?
Not suitable for work. My wife jokes around with me sometimes that she's my filter. So as I'm getting older, she's done a great job trying to have a filter. But sometimes whatever's on my mind is what comes out, and I know you can relate to that as well.
Just a little bit. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see hashtag out of Jason's mouth.
Yeah.
All right. What was your first job?
My first job was actually delivering newspapers when I was 12 years old. So
Cool.
back in the day when City of Milwaukee had 2 newspapers, I delivered Monday through Saturday, and back when you had to collect your own money. And typically the papers were delivered like at 1:32 in the morning, and you meet some amazingly interesting people at 1:32, 2 o'clock in the morning, and oftentimes it involved alcohol, but lots of fun and great experience.
At 12 years old.
Yes.
I have a new appreciation for that now that I have a son. Anyway. All right. So the last question I've asked everyone, why Country Financial? Why Kirk Faubel?
I like to think about insurance as ultimately you're buying from Kirk first. I want my clients to say, Kirk is my insurance agent, and then the carrier helps support me, because ultimately it's the quality of work I do up front and the communication and properly setting it up and making a good policy in the first place, not shortchanging, not eliminating things that are good ideas. But then I've got a great team behind me that supports me. We have one of the highest rated claim services in the country, according to JD Power and Associates. So you're not just buying a piece of paper, you're buying me, and you're also buying the claims experience when those bad things happen, which unfortunately sometimes they do.
That's amazing. All right. Like I said before, first of all, thank you for joining me, Kirk. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here and get to know more about Country Financial and just what makes it special, and that's you. So this has been another episode of Lady Boss Branding 321 Blast, where we're trying to keep business personal. The old saying goes, when a small business owner makes a sale, they do a little happy dance. Remember, shop local and change the world. Have a great day.
See ya.